It is alleged that Kisieja Beng, Akurugu, and the rest at the OSP office, they took 2.5 million in bribes. That's why they didn't prosecute any of the OMCs. Kisieja Beng, I told you about 2 weeks ago, leave that office, avail yourself for investigation, and let us prosecute you. It's simple as that.
And to what we special Uber prosecute Manfrey, who office in and alleged say, also, what did they bribe? What is Sika? What did you have a man for her? Why are my man for say, oh, hey, man, cockrafincy, man, easy, and I was a bit see that.
And you see why every day I'm pained and I keep saying that. So the man who allowed Ofori-Atta to escape, that's Kisieja Beng, has to leave the office immediately because he's fueling the suspicion that they colluded. Let me tell you something. You know how this world works. Because people want justice in this case, I've been given credible information that all this while in January, when we started saying that, look, if Ofori-Atta is not coming, then let's take steps to do trial in absentia so that we can confiscate his properties, etc. And it wasn't done, they delayed. It turns out that in the interim, Ofori-Atta is trying to get permanent residence in the US.
From an honorable minority leader. He gave us authoritative information that by February 18th, the honorable former finance minister was going to be in Ghana. So I'm saying, where is the former finance minister? I thought you were going to tell us his whereabouts.
But the man has disclosed his medical record. Mr. Speaker, that hospital where he's receiving treatment is a renowned medical hospital in the United States. Let's be fair to Ken Ofori-Atta.
In spite of the ill health, he persisted and insisted on remaining in this country as a finance minister. How come that suddenly, because today he is being sought after by the law enforcement agencies, he cannot live in this country and is claiming illness?
Office of the Special Prosecutor, Papa Efeno, Kisieja Beng ye and Nesubio, Papa and Ghana for Webro Muslim. The way Ghana for Jano, Kevin Taylor, fire, Hitipa, a Jatuntum, a Jashin Jacoko, was one in Edebegu, Papa Efeno Kisieja Beng, Office of the Special Prosecutor. Nayon was ha. Papa Efeno Martin Kpebu, our private practitioner, lawyer. Onu say the case na one OSP Alleged. Asem no adoso. Asebi adoso. Kese no bi asem na agwagwa duru no. Aye eja tuntum. Eja kokko any eja fita. OSP 2 bole. Na ni na say according to Martin Kpebu chese Papa Efeno Kisieja Beng, Nismo can say, hey, bribery and allegations are echo so I was out office one. And some more can yen some catwa. Now, when I came to the episode, say, Martin Kpebu relax it, Pebinetna. Now, Office of the Special Prosecutor, Penny Pa Odano, Kisieja Beng, or no, Ontimin can never and ever that. Because corrupting the air course will always be na. Papa, ya where? I mean, hey, na nipa already fighting. I may recover all loot. And I'm also on the so share. Check, Mumba Babana or Lassie or that one. Na some na course one side no. On to me because or no on cap and no more. Yeah. When I have some gazette, I am heat water. Why I am naked? Truth, our old Boga trends. Far go comment to comment section as a boko. Uya subscribe, like it. Na shame unya as we any be here. Now I am Becca Joe say Papa Efeno Martin Kpebu, our private practitioner, or lawyer. Or can't again and you say, eh? The OSP ni area no papa na se woni adwuma na Ghana ban ediama no adwuma no ogunu tot na wesu de nyansa anya memu tot nti baby asem na duru no they say ye pe asem no ne puma sibre papa no hurry up why fast ana ori asem no gwagoda no OSP say check kai ya ma unko onso de gwa asem no gwagodu court ye go no we no na say o chirechirem the entire all case OSP, Office of the Special Prosecutor. Papa no boni e koso Ghana ni na ompeo. Oni movie, I miss hey. Why a serious allegation say me a lawyer. Me a lawyer intina me ka che was the OSP. Oni bibia e koso bia. Oni movie. Now according to Papa e friend Kevin Taylor, I say OSP a man for big can office no ho a di odi omoye no enya de papa no owie ni nuanum ni niece ana me kan no va se ho mo ni wo va se no bi na ga omo ye deputy ana se omoka Strategic Mobilization Limited SML no mo ga de no ho adenti na ye charge OSP a sound for no ye pe omani ma ho ye hu na me say what then I got you say o say agro area ba Ghana for so OSP no onu ande say onu na buza for there we yi omo bako we yi omo fi asem nu omo ase so mo be no we yi omo fi asem nu ande say when I say hey Ken Ofori-Atta ana on bedi say dey say na fata na say na we so e ba da ben the way the organ say John Mani Mahama my president your president organ say say papa so open asem no set no kure dia OSP no or your wrong target I say OSP dey no target say hwe twe kai OSP no wrong target say ye OSP no amfiri ho a OSP no or show the amount for be say omo ma said even though per Ghana ye constitution HSS so mo aba asem am say no owie ye no ana organ say OSP no ana adwin say ono onfa bage onfa nya swine watun oyinani atwi nani ade ato careful so ana de ono penko ana oye and the way a reason why Ghana foi mon sorry John Dramani Mamani NDC for mon sorry na mon fight against OSP and yes sir OSP no wonye na adwin say oba do Ghana mon forget say na adwin wa charge Ken Ofori-Atta na charge wa charge Ken Ofori-Atta ina no de ekosu bia papa ni ya we oni o ya we oni say de ekosu no enya de ebebo Ghana na emum no ebebo no OSP kisi ajabe mi si asemi bebi ebedu no ebabe yupa
CEO the two deputies who the suspect said paid monies to, they have been pulled out. Only Mustafa Hamid is standing trial. And so interestingly enough, there are other people who were also interviewed and said they categorically denied not taking money from Emwa. Those people are standing trial today. So you ask yourself, what is the analogy here? What was the standard the OSP used in prosecuting these people? So the OSP deliberately sidelined Perry Okujato. Let me minimize him and add him to Linda. The OSP deliberately sidelined these two guys, took them out of the prosecution because Linda is Kisi Ejabin's niece and Perry Okujato is Kisi Ejabin's business partner's friend. So that is why today those people standing trial, no? And yet the two deputies to Mustafa Hamid, as we speak, the two deputies to Mustafa Hamid, besides, I thought they were all on one fly, Mr. P. So these two people were dropped. Kisi Ejabin dropped his niece and dropped Perry, who is a good, strong business partner to Kisi Ejabin's business friend. And I'll show you the person. Now, it is alleged. Let me put it on record because I am following up the trail of the money. OSP, Kisi Ejabin, let me tell you. Do you know the reason why Kisi Ejabin left all the OMCs and he didn't charge any of them? Because I'm still waiting for the trail. And I'm going to show you people the trail because my team is working on it. It is alleged that Kisi Ejabin, Akurugu, and the rest at the OSP office, they took 2.5 million in bribes. That's why they didn't prosecute any of the OMCs. Even though in his own recommendation, he said the OMCs are supposed to be there, are supposed to be prosecuted. If they opt for plea bargain, we want to know how much they have paid. 2.5 million, it was alleged, or it is alleged, that OSP Akurugu and Samuel Darko, they have taken that money from the OMCs. 36 OMCs that paid 62 million bribes to Mustafa Hamid, Kwamena Emua, Wendy, and Perry and Linda. The monies, those OMCs, none of the OMC has been charged. And from my checks, it is alleged, because I'm still waiting for the money trail. My team will get me the money trail. I don't have it. That's why I'm saying alleged. I don't normally use the word alleged. But because I'm chasing a document, I'm chasing some videos, I'm chasing evidence, I'll for now say it is alleged that OMC took 2.5 million. Akurugu knows about it. Sam Davis knows about it. And Kisie Jabin knows about it. So the question to the OMC is, why haven't you charged any of the OMCs? Why is Perry out? Why is Linda out? They are deputies. Emwa mentioned their names the same way Emwa never mentioned Dominic's name. Why is Dominic part of the prosecution and these two people out of the prosecution? The 2.5 million isn't all the OMC. So every single OMC paid 2.5 million. 2.5 million times 36. That is why I'm saying it's alleged, because I'm chasing. And the OMCs all know. I started working on this thing not today. I am left with about one document, and I'll prove to Ghana for this allegation that I am stating here. Every single OMC paid 2.5 million. Now we are asking the OMC, we are asking the OSP, why haven't you charged any OMC? Why haven't you charged any of them? Have you gotten money and disclosed the money to us? How much did you get? Or you are still in the process of taking money? Every OMC I mentioned today paid 2.5 million, allegedly. I'm looking for that document. There's a money trail, there's a video trail, there's a conversation trail. Kisie Jabin, I told you about 2 weeks ago, leave that office, avail yourself for investigation, and let us prosecute you. As simple as that.
Now, according to Martin Kpebu, she said, hey, unim say OSP, the entire will slow down. Say, you may have extradition of Papa Efrano Ken Ofori-Atta, former Finance Minister. Hey, all because say, Papa no washada. OSP no odile obodile taxes. And your corner, or channel warelase, or continuity, and next day no warelase, warelase. Now relax here or relaxing man say, onye na bi say, owa beti OSP fui. And I say, owa beti Ken Ofori-Atta. And the OSP, Papa Bago Efrano Director Samuel Darko, Okakuru according to Kevin Taylor say, Nipa Miensa, the Trade Mafia Group. More OSP no Kisie Jabin. Akuru ana Samuel Darko. No, Omumi saying, ana abo delay taxes. It according to Martin Kpebu, as I said, Omo ka ho pen information. Onye ni say, sound crofoi. Ana aka omu ho abom. Tese ababa awawawa. Ano me mu awawa tu. Ano mo ka mu abom yoma bi say, hey. Send no kwebe free OS beside the party and the lie. Mobo yenti bi da. Yenti so da. Enti oma fight ya ma sebna ba bidru ne. Na mom no say ya ma OSP. Kisie Jabin Darko Samuel ana Akuru. Who say Ghana sika best $14 million. Dem mom say omunye no omun spend our office. No omun for justice emre Ghana no. Say am takalo mu am pressure mu neka. Omunye madu so mu kan okram si yi. Adentia OSP mu Office of the Special Prosecutor. Enti wo we special ube prosecutor manfei. Wo office imbo ana ye alleged say osu odi the bribe, odi sika, odi be for man for ho. Wo ya my man for say oh, hey, man kokra hwinsi. Man ma hwinsi ana say we ebi nsida. Enya ade a omama kwan amandasi. Na no gozi ye no. Ana papa ye fe no Martin Kpebu eka say Ghana fwe mon sorry Now, Ken Ofori-Atta, as it stands now, I am according to the credible source, I went and said, Neba our America, United States of America. Abraham, as I say, year process. The money papa, a citizen of United States of America. And this man all you know. Send a citizen at the USA pet. A bad dream. Said Ghana. You better be Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister. Abe Plemo Ghana mzi ye. And as I'm like I see, the Martin Kpebu say, my Ghana for my end train and my assassin. Now, question now goes to Obusa, since day one, say, about the same, Anna Papa Ken Ofori-Atta, eating free Ghana. About the same, Anna back a friend Ken Ofori-Atta, the assets. Yet to me, I'm blocking the assets in her. About the same, Anna Papa a friend Ken Ofori-Atta. Papa no. After so many months, our United States of America, all returning here, our OSP engineer. I say, way, and the reason why I say John Dramani, Mahama, John Ababu, John Kwame Nkrumah, John is the hope. And Papa, we hope in Grandia, Ken Ofori-Atta, OSP, the so overpassing, or jumping the woolly trano. Na Ken Ofori-Atta, na some airship. Our Ghana Nessa, OSP no de, only Ken Ofori-Atta and Papa Cosso no Moda. Omuni Nkomo Bako, Agro Bako, and Mudi, Ayasa, M. Ghana, M. Wyatt David Da. Enti, solution are Odema Ghana, Odema John Dramani Mahama, Odema the NDC, and he said, I said, and they are sorry waka. Now, Ken Ofori-Atta, you stop it. So, obey citizen of United States of America.
So the context is that currently there is, let's call it legal proceedings at Interpol. So they have a unit responsible for this. So it's practically like a court on its own. So OSP, or let's say Ofori-Atta against OSP. So you file, the Ofori-Atta is complaining that there's no basis to have him on the Interpol red alert, blah, blah, blah. Then OSP says, no, there is. They say, okay, each of you file your case. They've done, then there are responses. So if you read the procedure, it's practical. There's going to be a decision. So judicial, well, okay, it's administrative since it's not a court. Some administrative proceedings in there. So they'll go through each part to argue their case, present what evidence they have. Then at the end of the day, the committee would come to a decision on it. So if they come to a decision that, yes, Ofori-Atta's name should be fully restored, it will be done. If they come to a decision that there is no basis, then his name will be taken up. So really, and when I say his name will be taken up, let me correct this, because OSP is very particular about it. It's not as if his name is totally off the system. As what it means that right now is restricted. You and I can't see it as Ofori-Atta, but the value is the same. Basic thing is that he's no longer a person that if any Interpol member saw today, they can arrest. That's the real point. Because once he remained on the list, and when we say Interpol, so Interpol is what? Police organizations around the world. So the countries that have joined, over 100, right? So that means that once he's on the red notice alert, it means that if he was found in Togo, they could arrest him. If he was found in the US, they could arrest him. So now with what has happened with this decision to restrict him, so it means that if they found him today, they will not arrest him. That's the most important thing.
I see.
Yes.
So if he is seen today,
yes,
to the extent that
he's been removed, restricted. We are using effective communication. The key thing is, what is the effect of what has been done? The main effect is that he will not be arrested. So
if he's seen today?
Yes. So whether you call it removal or what do you call it, restriction, the key thing is that would he be arrested today if he's found? No. And now let's situate this. So it's not really about the Interpol red notice. So what it does is to like blacklisting. Okay, so it's something, there's some effect in a blacklisting. But if you look at what Ghanaians have been looking for, which is that he must come back to Ghana, that one is a long shot. Long shot because even if he's arrested today, he will not be automatically brought to Ghana today or tomorrow. No. You see the extradition that the Attorney General is working on, that is what has to be granted. You know, they will do it, send it to the U.S. government. Then the U.S. government will go through it, the Home Department, blah, blah, they'll look at it. Then they will go to court. So eventually there will be court proceedings in the U.S. because Ofori-Atta will contest his return to Ghana, right? And so it's not today or tomorrow. And you see why every day I'm pained and I keep saying that. So the man who allowed Ofori-Atta to escape, that's Kisie Jabin, has to leave the office immediately because he's fueling the suspicion that they colluded. Let me tell you something. You know how this world works. Because people want justice in this case, I've been given credible information that all this while in January, when we started saying that, look, if Ofori-Atta is not coming, then let's take steps to do trial in absentia so that we can confiscate his properties, etc. And it wasn't done, they delayed. It turns out that in the interim, Ofori-Atta is trying to get permanent residence in the U.S.
You got this information from where?
Oh, you know, this work we do, if I had to disclose all my sources would dry up.
You say it's credible.
Yes, credible. Yeah, but I have to keep citizen journalism. I have the right to keep them.
Okay.
So right now, the key thing is that, and that's why it's even irking me more. So as OSP was doing Kukwasa, Ofori-Atta through one of his sons has applied for him to get permanent residence in the U.S.
I see. And
so
this,
that
that
complicates his return.
I see. This you are able to prove.
Sorry?
You're able to prove because this is from a credible source.
Yes.
So you have enough information to prove that indeed he has applied to get permanent.
Oh no, they will release it. But I look at where the source is coming from. I believed it. And of course, if push comes to shove, we'll go into the U.S. system. That at least is there. Okay, we'll do a request, RTI request to the Homeland Security and the Home Department in the U.S. So the key thing is that as we're here from January, we started asking for trial in absentia. OSP came and were giving us ridiculous, ludicrous answers that no, you cannot do trial in absentia. 11 months only to do a U-turn. So then it fuels the suspicion. The analysts are like, oh, so were they denying trial in absentia so that it gives Ofori-Atta enough opportunity to get permanent residence?
Because they're going to court on Monday.
Yes.
The fugitives, as has been described, they are not in the country, obviously. So the trial is going to go on.
Yes.
What's going to happen on Monday is they're going to hear them.
Yes, but the fact
that will be in the absence of Ken Ofori-Atta.
Preliminary
Does that amount
matters
to a trial in absentia?
Yes, the trial is, let's say this, before the trial in absentia will be done, Article 19, Clause 3 requires that the OSP will prove to the court that Ofori-Atta has been notified, the very thing we have been talking about. As to how they do the notification, Monday will come, then we'll see. If they've done it, fine. But if they've not, then it means that for Ofori-Atta and Esakori, his chef de cabinet, or is it chief de cabinet, his PA, let's use the simple term, his PA, the trial for them will not go on if there is no proof, cogent proof that they've been notified. Because let's read 19 clause 3. It says that he has to be notified. So if the accused is notified of the trial and he doesn't come, then that's when the court will go on. But please, that technical term, well, in this case, I would say technical because it's not cheap. Notification, that's what OSP has to prove to the court. And this is what lawyer Tadio Sori had been saying from day one. You know, Tadio Sori was one of the first to say, let's do trial in absentia. In January, when this matter came, if you check the records, I think for me, in reading commentary on this matter, lawyer Tadio Sori was the first to ask for trial in absentia. Then later, all of us joined. Me, initially, we thought, oh, he would come. And, but it turned out that at least some of us converted far earlier and joined Tadio Sori in asking for trial in absentia. And OSP kept stonewalling. Whilst Ofori-Atta is taking steps to get better residence in the U.S. so that his coming here will be more complex. And don't forget that he has huge investments in the U.S. Huge investment. And the American government will not lightly throw him under the bus. So you have to be very careful. This is a political decision. Look, at a point, after Kisie Jabin is left, later in our series to get justice, we may have to organize a demonstration to go to the U.S. Embassy and present a petition. That's what we have to do. We have to mobilize Ghanaians after Kisie Jabin is left, because that's the first point. We can't trust Kisie Jabin to do this work because he saw Ofori-Atta leave. He saw the letter I'm happy Professor Ajampo is here. Please, Mr. Okansi, when you get to this, let him explain the political theory of the state. How, when I keep saying, when I quote the constitutional provisions and I show that under the constitution, he said Jabe had a mandatory duty to inform Ghanaians once he saw Ofori-Atta was leaving, and he alleges that the other...
Papa no minority leader in parliament, Alexander Afenyo Martin, I said, let's be fair to Ken Ofori-Atta. It can be you tomorrow. Media organ say, who the entire OSP, any NDC for a Ken Ofori-Atta. Say, Papa, name the court of competent jurisdiction. More Papa for ye. So, more Papa for identity. And you go so yema Papa no pressure upon pressure upon pressure. Ni na no crab and quanepe. No crano efa he a refa he and you ye. Osigano for enter the cancates or yare. Or no Alexander Afenyo Markets or minority leader. Eba parliament. Eba catch any MPP and a gun of food nanze. Papa no truly lawyer and in the yere. Eso oyare. And then after the beer NDC any OSP yano. Omo MPP for in parliament. They be no omo Ghana for update. Omo me update time me say Papa e feno Ken Ofori-Atta ne bonen emroso ensesan ye enko bibia. Enti abotremu yen twen ehu hia. So oba be Ghana for ho a. Obeba na question say answer bia no answer. According to majority in parliament, say, everybody goes on just or say all the parliamentarians were sure and I say friends, the finance ministers omoye mo Ghana nya omamamu enko awieye omunya ma bi say omu tu kwan akoman foforo so adana Ken Ofori-Atta nko tu kwan. But according to Alexander Afenyo Markets, say we be see that Papa no yare okuja yare sa enti dede we ye ka di trika ya moyi ekuse Papa no ne hoto na obeba me sehwe enkosi da bay. But Afenyo Market say onida orimda Ken Ofori-Atta eba bagana for munya botre munya to boase enfam.
I need us to solicit an answer from an honorable minority leader. He gave us authoritative information that by February 18th, the honorable former finance minister was going to be in Ghana. So I'm saying, where is the former finance minister? I thought you were going to tell us his whereabouts. Ministers of finance who have occupied that office after their tenure, they remain in this country. Where is our former finance minister? Where is he?
The records would bear me out that indeed, when the respected former finance minister had issue with the OSP, which mattered the majority leader himself, came to apologize. He used the dispatch box to apologize on behalf of government for the mishandling of the whole matter. We as leaders owed a responsibility and a duty in the matter. I, right here, indicated that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta had written to the OSP through his lawyers that he was going to be in the country on or before May, not July. This was in February. Mr. Speaker, in the letter, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta again indicated that he had been booked for surgery. When the time came and his doctors further advised that the surgery will require some healing process, Mr. Speaker, he again wrote, this time not only a letter by his lawyers, the letter from his doctors. It is not a matter of I resigning or making a promise and failing to honor that. Let's put things in proper context. All I want Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim to understand is that when it comes to ill health, our medicals, all of us may go through it one way or the other. If a man is going through a serious medical condition, how many of us will be bold to disclose our medical records? But the man has disclosed his medical record. Mr. Speaker, that hospital where he's receiving treatment is a renowned medical hospital in the United States. Let's be fair to Ken Ofori-Atta. Let's be fair. It can be you tomorrow.
Given an impression that members on this side are insensitive to the medical condition of Ken Ofori-Atta. That is the impression you have sought to give. Mr. Speaker, Ken Ofori-Atta was very sick in this country. You could see the sickness in his face. By that time, it was sweet to be a finance minister. It was sweet to be a finance minister. In spite of the ill health, he persisted and insisted on remaining in this country as a finance minister. How come that suddenly, because today he is being sought after by the law enforcement agencies, he cannot live in this country and is claiming illness? He was sick when he was finance minister. We all saw it. He was sick.
Honorable. Now, according to Alexander Afeyomakis, now no see on the trust to say the former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta any OSP issues. Only office of the special prosecutor issue adentia. Only a money police ni no what any to do. Our number Udane Akohe. But according to Alexander Afeyomakis, it say Papa your friend Ken Ofori-Atta, former finance minister, only OSP or more fights. Interpol the Palma and Yentoketwa. And the by all my yen nano. Ni nanam say OSP. How the way, the manner are all handle Papa the case. Sebi, Nansen him or any case in the Papa no for a year. Name court of competent jurisdiction. More Papa for. And they say a month for office OSP. Najuma Oyeni ye. MPP for well, almost MPP for say OSP, Waduma Oyeni ye, any for say OSP, Waduma Oyeni ye. Ghana for say OSP, say Waduma Oyeni ye. Maybe I do the Edwin. Jayan Obejai. When you had my pet and here, not heat pa. Eja Sheshia, Eja Tuntum, Eja Coco, and Re Ashua. One Gasa Obaba, Untimi Emma Maria ye. And the way and a way problem at that OSP. Any Ken Ofori-Atta entem, according to Alexander Afeyomakis, minority leader in parliament, say OSP, and Ken Ofori-Atta more fight. Issue but all my issue no account be.
The respected former finance minister had issue with the OSP, which matter the majority leader himself came to apologize. He used the dispatch box to apologize on behalf of government for the mishandling of the whole matter. We as leaders owed a responsibility and a duty in the matter. I, right here, indicated that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta had written to the OSP through his lawyers that he was going to be in the country on or before May, not July. This was in February. Mr. Speaker, in the letter, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta again indicated that he had been booked for surgery. When the time came and his doctors further advised that the surgery will require some healing process, Mr. Speaker, he again wrote, this time not only a letter by his lawyers, the letter from his doctors. Mr. Speaker, the doctors wrote and indicated that they had booked him for surgery and that the post-recovery will take some time. Mr. Speaker, this is a matter of record. It's not a matter that Mr. Speaker, I again made this known right here in this chamber. So, Mr. Speaker, it is not a matter of I resigning or making a promise and failing to honor that.
Eddie, Papa, I a friend Martin Kpebu, a lawyer. Eddie a lawyer as a private practitioner. As a operation recover all loot. na committee na John Dramani Mahama ati no okahobi oma OSP numre abra na Kevin Taylor any Captain Smart any other media guys I say omu hu ni credibility ni ye I say adwuma no adango da adre oya I say obeso o protect Ken Ofori-Atta ni na nkonkosi no o defend ni sa na oga trial in absentia papa na anya ko lawyers e wo Ghana ekasa ye hu de ansana ogwakoye ebio na se o freeze Ken Ofori-Atta ni asset eno so wanye ene Ken Ofori-Atta be biaduru ni information what kai say enche ana Kevin Taylor making the same allegation say papa e very Ken Ofori-Atta ne ba akodi nkoma kire guys say papa oh masa o two kind called different countries na mom Ghana for ntimi nchene da amutimi nchene ne ntimi nchene chana na afi the detail for eba according to Martin Kpebu say ne ba o USA as say what US citizen apply amane papa ye friend Ken Ofori-Atta amana be US citizen na so obey US citizen ewie tu ne ba ana na yere wiya abedi se Ghana ibetini na free USA abamza adentia na enye USA fuya na nanu ya Ghana fo Coffee Jones ana Daddy Joe Remis almost romance fraud plus money laundering plus other fraud related issues that's what Ghana ako ada omuye Ghana ni bia o meche no leko adenti so oya US ni mpo a se ye timi de yede shema US fo a adenti ana eden edema se ndimi nche no but according to Martin Kpebu say ya anya fast anya heriepa Ken Ofori-Atta ara Ghana onsi ada o mabio na wa maso a Ghana yebenya asem na yebedan achi Ken Ofori-Atta amapedam don't forget say the office of the special prosecutor and 78 counts and the about Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others na ni na say Ghana ye court on the 24th of November ye three case in so a papa ye friend Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others no ye become asem whether so omu ha anaso omuni ha omasem no omu pew omu mpew aben sa account enti ye be come asem no afri ho na mom se Ken Ofori-Atta eba se oma according to Martin Kpebu our private practitioner just say papa no onye na ne se oba Ghana wey anam ensem no ayeja tuntum jako goni ja hihie amanfo se OSP asem wedi upew umpew unim hubi sana also wadwe eyo se OSP asai Ken Ofori-Atta na onye na adwene na eba ne se ne si onu an nis na wo fa ase no ka asemi no ho bo asemi mu oyi na frim OSP o shobi amanfo bi afri asemi mu no make sure say obeti efofofo ana de na OSP no oye adenti ana oye sa inim ebe na unima Fato comment section as uya subscribe like it na share ma unya eso enye bi ehwe edino edaso eba akope Maxi Billian our naked truth our Oldboga trends Accra bye bye.